Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast is the Formula One podcast, straight to the apex. Well, more races. Races have been, and now we've got races to come. That's right, and that's why you're here. That's why these guys are here. They've got all the race news, all the race previews, reviews, drama, all of it. It's all right here. Before we get started, please do consider like, share, subscribe and comment. Leave a review where you can leave a review. Share the podcast around is the biggest one I can ask you to do. If you've got a Formula One fan in your life, send this podcast their way. They will love it. Right, enough from me. Let's see what these guys have to say. Here we go. This is CookieCast, straight to the apex.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Straight to the Apex, Motorsport and F1 podcast. It's just me and Mark today because a certain James, or Jimmy, as the fans might know him as, has gone on holiday. He's gone to Rome. And he hopefully will put on at least 5 stone of weight while he's there. Because he's already sent us some photos of how good the food is.
Looks very good. Looks very good.
Very good. Very good. We won't share what else he sent us because in true James fashion, yeah, it was not PG. Not PG. Anyway, how are you, Mark? You all right?
Fantastic. Slightly jealous that he's in Italy, obviously the home of our adopted team.
Yes.
You know, the Tifosi. I am very well, thank you. What about yourself? You look a bit cold.
I am cold at the minute. I'm hoping this weather comes for the Easter weekend, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
Apparently it's raining all weekend.
It's a shame. I mean, it's a massive shame because I'm at work anyway. So.
Oh well.
But yeah, no. Hopefully the sun and the warmth return soon. But hey, who needs to go outside when you've got F1 every weekend?
Correct. What a race. What a race. Well,
I don't know. It was for an F1 purist, it was a good race.
It was better than Japan.
It was better than Japan.
That was a very low benchmark. And it had the makings of being a very good race when everyone was on a mixed strategy, mixed tyres, be out the safety car. There was a few good battles. I'm not going to lie. But I think the safety car kind of timed it wrong in the sense of I think it could have been a better race. But we'll go into that.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. As always, we are in association with CookieCast and Andy, the Oracle, the all knowing one. Thank you as always. We appreciate you for editing and putting up with us and directing us and bleeping stuff out, let's say. And we'll hope to get you on soon.
Definitely.
Well, shall we get into Bahrain 2025?
Yeah.
McLaren's home race.
Yep.
And it didn't snow like I predicted, which was disappointing. But it was windy. Always is windy now, sometimes anyway. Yeah, practice. Practice, anything on practice?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it. I do read into it though. I do watch a couple of videos, look at the news. I think you need to just to get that little extra edge. Has it paid off yet? No. I'm still doing it for 4 seasons and it still hasn't worked. So read into that what you will. The only few notes I've got was Lando was topping at first. Piastri had a fast lap in FP3, miles quicker than Norris. Norris um, struggled with the car this weekend.
He did.
Mercedes showed promise. Leclerc again, despite minor issues with a lost wing mirror. Red Bull was pretty pants to say the least. Faced challenges, was nowhere near the top of the timings, and he wasn't happy.
Wasn't. His agent apparently had a right go at Helmut Marko. Absolutely tore strips off him.
Is that where this Helmut Marko story has come from?
What Helmut
That
Marko story?
that it wasn't that was it. Can't remember now if it was Max was disappointed with what was said to Marco or the Marco comments or something like that. Maybe you're linking what I have read already.
Was it
What have
was it he Matt Helmut Marko said something about Max possibly leaving or not being happy or we need to up the
Yes.
performance of the car or something? Is that what you're talking?
Helmut Marko has great concern about world champions' future with the team.
Yes. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Apparently, I think Ted. I'm sure it was Ted that said it. That basically, off camera, yeah, Max's agent had absolutely ripped into Helmut Marko. All I can just take from that is it's about the car.
Well, yes, it is underperforming at the minute. I mean, it was happening last season. They're not the greatest in this season. It hasn't been the best starts. He has won a race. Yeah, they're on the down
Mm,
and never going to be as good as what they were 2 seasons ago when they was winning every race. They have to surely, and they are, become average in some races and have their weaknesses and have their. I still think the Newey thing leaving has had a massive effect.
yeah,
Massive, like it does in any team. I think if you lose somebody with that has done it all and is enormous, you're always gonna become weaker. You're always gonna not do as well
mm.
in every form. And I think that's what we're seeing now. I think that's what we're seeing, and it'll just be interesting what happens. That's all I can say. What
If Aston Martin make a jump next year when Newey's had a year to design that car and Red Bull are still struggling, you are absolutely bang on, aren't you?
I think, and that story that broke beginning of the season about the Aston Martin investors and Max Verstappen potentially signing.
Mm.
I think that's
It's getting legs. It's getting legs, isn't it? Underperforming Red Bull, Aston Martin, suddenly Adrian Newey car. It's quite an attractive prospect. You've said it before, it's not come to fruition yet, but new factory, new wind tunnel, the kind of hand picking the best mechanics, the best team leaders. They're building something. They're building something.
in the building something. I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Watch
Mm.
this bit. Um, the big question is, will Lawrence's son move over, so to speak, or will it be Alonso leaving? I think Alonso will probably leave, and I think Lawrence is sorry, oh, I forgot the goat's name.
Lance,
Lance.
Lance. Yeah, yeah,
I think he's literally there as a passenger, really.
yeah.
Um,
I agree. I think he's
which
going to
fits
go where.
which fits into the mantra, which fits into the Max Verstappen racing that we've seen already. Really,
Yeah,
watch this space. Watch this space. Let's not get too caught up in this Qualifying. Shall we move on to
Yeah,
qualifying?
yeah.
Q1. A lot of soft tires used. The usual suspects leave. Sargent, Magnussen, and both Saubers. Again, Max Verstappen got through. Not again, but Max Verstappen, his struggles continued and he made it through comfortably. Anything else to add?
Only the fast that was Hulkenberg's lap getting deleted 45 minutes after Q1. And
Mm.
he went through to Q2 when he shouldn't have done, yet Albon was knocked out. He got a lap deleted. Hulkenberg's, by the sounds of it, Williams have said, can you just have a look at his lap? And then 45 minutes later, they've gone, oh, yeah, he's out as well. So he dropped kind of out of Q2. And Albon should have been promoted. I mean, look at Sainz, he was up there. So Albon was a bit unlucky, wasn't he, really? Apart from that, the big Ocon crash.
Well, yeah, Q2. Ocon crashes. It looked worse than it was. I don't know.
Yeah,
When it
yeah, it
came,
did.
I thought, oh my God, he's completely fucking mangled the car.
Mm,
But then when you actually watch the replay, it doesn't really give it justice. It's like it's kind of hit the barrier square on the back, and because basically what it seems like the back of the car is a carbon fiber paper mache. It's just kind of obliterated
yeah, yeah.
it. After the restart, Hulkenberg initially made it into Q3, but at the time deleted fresh. Yes, we talked about that. And rookie Isaac Hadjar narrowly missed out of Q3.
Mm.
Anything else to add on the Q2 drama? It was really just Ocon crashed.
Ocon crash. I mean, Doohan did well. Doohan looked okay. Like you say, Hadjar looked good. Nothing else on Q2.
Nothing else on Q2. Q3. George Russell and Kimi Antonelli both received a penalty for
Mm.
coming out a bit too quick.
Yep.
Um, it promoted Charles Leclerc to the front row, and Piastri set the quickest time. Um, Lando Norris completely bottled it. Well, not well, did yeah, bottled
Bottled
it.
it.
P6, which I thought was the car's performance, and yeah, I thought that was crap.
Mm.
Really disappointing. I don't know about you, Mark. What did you think?
I totally agree. I think the pace Piastri was showing, Norris made quite a lot of mistakes in quali, and it seems like something's changed with him in that car because he followed it through to the Sunday as well. But on Saturday, yeah, sixth in a fast McLaren is terrible. I mean, Gasly, quality, quality.
P4.
Antonelli, good lap. Sonoda, not far off Max.
No.
Max, terrible. I mean, you go at Norris, Max was seventh, like, but he didn't have a quick car, so it's kind of interesting. And then, like I say, Sainz, great quality, his best one of the season in the Williams so far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Merc thing, bit odd, wasn't it? So it was in
Well,
after the red flag. I think it was the strategy guy said they hadn't got the time from FIA of when the session was started, so they released the Mex a minute early, and that you're not allowed to be in the pit lane because while they were in the pit lane, the medical car was coming back in. So obviously it breached all the rules. They were lucky to get away with one grid place, I think, but I think they
yeah,
got a hefty fine, didn't they?
yeah. I can't remember the fine, but yeah, it was a weird one.
Mm,
It was one that I've never seen before,
no.
but it was a strange one. A strange one. Again, this is what adds to the entertainment of F1. Anything can really happen at
Yep.
any point, and the FIA can really do whatever they want.
Mm,
Depends how it really just seems how they feel on that occasion. Um, I think they must have a wheel, almost like a slot machine, or what's the other fucking game shows that I can remember? Oh,
Wheel
what
of
is it?
Fortune,
Yeah,
Strike It Lucky. Yeah,
strike it.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
And it's literally what we're gonna do today.
Mm.
Oh, it's a 5 second penalty.
It is. It is. It's made up. Absolutely made up. What was quite telling, I don't know who it was. It was one of the sheiks at the end of the quali, put his arms out to hug Lewis, and Lewis just like patted him and like walked by as if to say, I ain't hugging you. But it was very, very telling. I don't like I say I don't know if he was part of the FIA team or not, but yeah, it's odd. Really odd, like you say, just
Very
made
odd.
up.
It's very odd, and I think we have the FIA, but then we have other people involved in the FIA or very closely to the FIA, and it's been questioned, hasn't it,
Mm.
in previous seasons? Are the
Mm.
FIA fully in control? Is there anybody that is having potential effect on decisions?
Would be.
There's a lot of conspiracy out there.
Mm.
A lot of conspiracy out there. But the FIA don't help themselves when sometimes they're very hard on things and others they're just like, yeah, whatever, just give them that. That'll do.
Mm. There's no
They're very busy.
consistency. No
Very
consistency
busy.
at all.
True. Right then. Anything else to add?
Uh,
Anything else?
no, no.
Well, we had Piastri first, Leclerc second, Russell third, Gasly fourth, Kimi Antonelli fifth, Norris sixth, Verstappen seventh, Sainz eighth, Hamilton ninth, Yuki Tsunoda 10th.
Mm.
We get to the race. We get to the race. The start. I think Piastri got a very good start.
Yeah.
Very strong. Russell quickly moved as well on Leclerc, which was fantastic to watch. But probably one of the talking points of the race, if definitely the start of the race, Lando Norris with a false start.
Mm.
Just rookie mistakes. That is not an action of a potential world champion, in my opinion. We all have bad weekends, but what was he doing there? I think Brundle was trying to say that he'd left it in gear and he'd crept forward. It's just foolish. Foolish.
I know we're only 5 races in, but is the pressure of having the fastest car on the grid already getting to him? Because, like you say, that is not a mistake you should be making. And I mean, Max was straight on the radio, Norris in his pit box.
But was he It was almost laughable. I thought he was
Yeah, it
like
was.
laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Because, like you say, he got in the right position and then all of a sudden he just crept forward. You thought, what are you doing? And like you say, Brundle tried to defend him. Said, oh, he's put it in gear. And then I think it was Karun Chandok said he's gained no advantage from where he started. He physically stopped. He couldn't reverse on the grid because that's a penalty. So he's gained no advantage because he still started at the right time. But he did gain an advantage because he was too far ahead of his box. So he already had a jump on who was next to him, Max. So, like I say, Max was straight on the radio. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Piastri is so calm, so cool, so collected. Norris is, like you just said, all them mistakes in quali. Now in the race, it's a bit, can't see him. I think the pressure's getting to him. Watch him win this weekend. But the pressure's getting to him because
I
I think the
mean, yeah,
expectation on his shoulders is possibly too much.
it's He's just that's yeah, I completely agree with everything you're saying. I think he had a bad weekend.
Mm.
Bad weekend.
And
Yes,
like
he
you
did.
say, you're allowed to have a bad weekend.
But is this the weekend where you're gonna have a bad weekend? I mean,
Mm.
it's been the test here. It's been there for a while.
It,
It's not the most awkward of tracks, is it? It's
it should be like riding a bike. It should be that should be the comfort zone. It's like say, loads of run off, track the test start, a track you know. It's your McLaren home race, really. Well, second home race.
hmm,
Pressure's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Some people deal with it. We both watch football. Some people deal with it well, other players don't. Think it's
yeah.
getting to him.
I think it's early days maybe to say the pressure's getting to him.
Okay.
I think it's early days. Yeah.
Hmm.
I would say give it another two or three races and let's see then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I mean,
fair.
just starting this weekend, if he doesn't perform this weekend, then it's very much, well, if he doesn't beat Oscar Piastri this weekend, it's very much Piastri's in the driving seat here.
Hmm.
I think it said he's moved in the betting odds, Piastri's moved from fifth to now joint first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he has. Yeah.
Um, and Piastri, he didn't have the best race in Australia, which was the first race. Ever since then, he's got better and better.
He's just not
So
calm. He's not flustered. Even when he wins, his highs aren't too high and his lows aren't too lows. Like when he has
it's
a
not,
bad race, he's just like, yeah, I had a bad race.
yeah, but then when he wins, he's also like,
Yeah, I won. Yeah,
yeah, well,
yeah, and that's what I mean. He's very level. Where Lando, when they spoke to him after quali, he's a bit like Lewis, very negative. Oh, I'm rubbish. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Blah blah blah. And then they interviewed him on the grid, and he was like, "No, I've had a sleep. I'm ready for this." And he did get a good start. I mean, he went from sixth to third,
mm,
but his highs are high and his lows are lows, and that's
mm,
one criticism of Lewis. Max is very like Piastri, and this is probably why McLaren chased him so much because Max is very his highs at high, his lows at lows. They're just
mm,
he's just even keel all the way through.
boring, so
Mm.
to speak.
Another word, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I am worried as a British racing fan. Yeah, he's not my favorite Lando Norris, but he's many people's favorites. Definitely here in the UK, he's not cutting it at the minute. He's not
No,
cutting it as a world champion. And yeah, I think the next race is going to be interesting. Very interesting.
I think I said a while ago. After Lewis, my favorite driver is Piastri.
Mm.
And when Lewis finally packs it in, I will be Team Piastri. Fuck the British drivers. I ain't backing George Russell. I'm not backing Alex Albon. Lando's a no. It's all about Oscar.
I think George is a slow burner, if I'm being honest.
Do you think? Are
I
you
think
you've turned the corner on him, haven't you?
a bit, yeah. I have. I think I have. I can see him now as a the more mature he gets, the yeah, I just think he is that epitome of like a British racing gentleman, isn't he?
While we're talking to George Russell, can I ask you a question then?
Go on, man.
Why haven't Mercedes signed him up after this season?
Mm, I think because George is negotiating a better contract for himself.
Do you think? Do you think he's now his team leader is saying, "Pay me the dollar"?
Yeah, lock me in long term, and I'll be your quintessential British driver who drives a Mercedes.
What what's changed your mind on him out of interest? Or can't, like you say, can't you put what point did you think, do you know what? We've gone from ridiculing him and fucking hating him. Why what's changed your mind?
I just think, I just think now he's the leader. His dickish ways will slowly dissipate, and
Okay.
he'll grow as a person and a professional, and he will become that leader and that for all British racing, I think.
If I ever change my mind on George Russell, it's on record now. You can tattoo George Russell's name and number onto me anywhere you want. That is verbally contract arranged. If I ever say, do you know what? I really like him, buy a tattoo gun because I'm getting branded.
Okay, wow. Wow, that was a big claim there, big claim. Even if he followed the footsteps of Lewis Hamilton, and
It's not happening.
even if he
Okay.
joined, what if he joined Piastri at Red Bull?
Oscar all the way. Oh, Oscar all the way. Fuck the British. Go on, Aussies. Good night, mate. That's it.
Right, well, wow. Anyway,
Anyway,
you know what? I fancy Kimmy as well. I think he's doing all right. That kid is doing all right.
he is. Yeah, he is.
Anyway, let's carry on with the
Yeah,
race. We digress.
yeah,
Piastri builds up a gap. Russell stayed within range, but then has issues with DRS and brake balance, which got even worse towards the end of the race. Verstappen going nowhere, absolutely nowhere in P7. Norris gets a penalty and he serves it in an early stop, and that's what I liked about this race. And you touched on it earlier. There was many strategies going on. It kept it all entertaining. Random cars just coming in randomly, putting random tires on.
yeah.
Um, you didn't really know where you were going. Ferrari was running Plan B, but Leclerc wanted Delta. Verstappen came in, put hard tires on for fucking no reason. For Bants, I think. I think it was for Bants. That's all I can think of. Um, I mean, he came in, put the hards on, and I thought, my God, he's a fucking genius, this guy. No wonder he's like a four-time world champion. 2 laps in, it was like, nah, these are dog shit.
Tell
Uh,
Christian Horner's lover these tires are dog shit.
um, so yeah, some other people put hards on and quickly realized they were not the one. Um, Norris stopped first. He had good race pace, you can't deny him that.
He did.
But if you've got
Yeah.
a faster car, you can't deny that. Um, a brief safety car gave us a little bit of a pause, and Piastri was very lucky with the safety car. If I
Yes.
don't mind saying, it literally came out, and he had about 5 corners left of the lap, so he just slotted straight in there. Could not believe that. He managed to rolling start very well,
Mm.
very well.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of people pitted. Norris and Verstappen did as well. Anything else to add up to now?
Behrman started last, went up to 15th on lap one. Thought that was a solid start.
Yes, yes, he did. He did.
Um, Max's pit stops, well, all of Red Bull's pit stops, really shocking. Their automated light system wasn't working, so
Yeah,
the green light didn't come on. It was flashing amber, I think, wasn't it? And then
yeah.
on,
And then they brought another one which was exactly the same, but it had exactly the same problem.
yeah, and then Max got his right front stuck. They couldn't get it off. So
Yeah.
they kind of
Right.
absolutely went to shit.
Mm.
Um, yeah, up to that point, that's all I've got.
Well, I'll carry on then. Leclerc tried to challenge Russell for second, but he couldn't get past. Norris um, overtook Leclerc and he tried to gain on Russell. Um, Piastri had trouble with his drink system, and fucking God knows what happened to Russell's. I don't know how that car was still running because it
No.
was just the steering wheel wouldn't work. He lost all the electronics on that. There was problems with the timing board. Then there was problems with DRS.
He
Then
pressed
he
the he,
pressed
pre-
it too early.
he pressed the radio button and the DRS opened. His transponder on his car kept going off because he kept going down the order, didn't he, on the left? And then
Yeah,
the
that
cars
completely.
around him couldn't get DRS because his transponder wasn't registering. It
Yeah,
was absolute mess. So to be
yeah,
fair to him, he did well to bring that car home because he was resetting something every lap. It wasn't braking. The brake by wire wasn't working. So he had to reset something on his car every single lap to get that working. Otherwise, he'd lose power. Yeah, it was computers. Terrible.
Do we know what happened? Do we know the cause? I don't think I've not.
Not said. No, they've not said. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a few issues electronically, weren't they? Like, say, the timing screen actually went off.
Hmm.
Um, they had a backup one because they said, what did they say that no sectors were registering at some point? So, like, for a lot of cars, sectors 1 and 2 weren't registering. Then 3 had come up. Then the full lap had come up, and I think Ted said, oh, they've gone to a different timing. They've got an old school timing system as backup, and they're using that. And it was all a bit of a mess in the desert, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Um, it was not good at all. Um, which wreaked havoc with a lot of people.
Mm.
I've just literally done that. Transponder was frazzled and charred. Russell's transponder was frazzled and charred.
Oh, right, okay. So they've had some sort of gremlin in the system then.
Trans trans Transponder glitch through the Bahrain GP into chaos.
Mm.
There you go. There you go, guys. Straight off the press. There you go.
Yeah, hot off the press.
So there you go. Yeah, Leclerc and Hamilton held on to a steady 4-5. Verstappen ended a frustrating P6. Post-race drama. Nico Hulkenberg finally got the dreaded ping for his floor plank thickness, and we
Yeah,
all know what that means.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
all we've all been there, and that means DQ, see you later, sayonara, go fuck yourself. Pretty much. That's a
Definitely.
slam dunk.
Yeah, bye bye.
You-
You're out of
Goodbye.
here.
What a big waste of time that was. Which promoted Ollie Behrman to the points in P10, which was pretty good considering where he started.
Mm.
Pretty good. So yeah, the placings finished as Piastri first, Russell second, Norris third, Leclerc fourth, Hamilton fifth, Verstappen sixth, Gasly seventh, Ocon eighth, Yuki ninth, and Behrman 10th.
Mm.
So yeah, McLaren's momentum carries on. Yes, it was their home track. If you really want, I'm quite interested into McLaren Group are owned by the a sovereign company, which is owned by the state, which is part of the state of Bahrain.
Yeah,
Uh, in my opinion, it's my opinion. I think that's fucking cheating and it's completely fucked up. But
yeah,
other people have other
yeah.
a country. Technically, in my opinion, technically the country owns McLaren and therefore owns McLaren Racing. So
Mm.
an almost $1 trillion wealth fund by basically the world a world resource funds McLaren GP. So yeah, you look into that anyway. It was a home race, lots of shakes, lots of people, lots of claps and well dones and
Yeah, from
money through.
the country-owned team,
The
which yeah,
country-owned team.
yeah.
Will it suit the McLarens and Jeddah? We'll find out. Mercedes resurgence. Russell on the podium. Can he keep that up in Jeddah? I don't know. Antonelli, he's doing all right. He's doing all right, but we'll see how he does. Will Red Bull bounce back?
Tall ask.
Will Ferrari keep consistent? And which rookie will step forward? I
Oof,
think
that's a good question.
these are all very important points that I think we need to touch on in the second half. What do you think?
I like it. Just to finish the race, there was the Sonoda Sainz crash.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot
Sainz
that.
retired, had a massive hole in the side of his car, which is why the safety car come out. Sainz was handed a 10-second penalty on the safety car restart for forcing Antonelli off. Lawson, shock horror, handed a 10-second penalty for causing a collision with Hulkenberg. Russell called his soft tyre pit stop audacious. Nice word. Not heard that on the radio before. Well done, George. And Piastri, I can't remember how many laps to go when the safety car come out. Was it 20 something? Or was it 14 or 15? Piastri finished 15 seconds in front of Russell with Norris 0.7 behind. 15 seconds. That's Red Bull domination of 2 seasons ago. Isn't it?
It is. It is, and I think
Massive.
that's how far in front they are at the minute, McLaren.
Yeah.
And I think they'll continue until, I mean, Ferrari had a huge package for Bahrain. They're still nowhere really near it.
Yeah.
McLaren. It's all about McLaren. And the big question is, who's going to step forward? Who's your money on right now to win the championship?
Should we save that to the
Right.
second half?
I think we should save it to the second half.
That's 3 major questions you've asked. Let's save them to the second half.
Let's save them. Let's save them. And while we have this little break, I want all the viewers to think of Jimmy, aka James, in Rome, and think of all the things they might be getting up to.
Yeah.
We hope he's having fun. We miss him dearly. And we'll
We've got
see
to
him.
mention his name. We've got to mention his name because otherwise he goes, I don't like it.
This is what I mean. He's having a lovely time with his family. We
Probably
wish him
upsetting the Italians.
probably. He's looking for a certain individual who will not name on the podcast today. And it's no, yeah. Again, think about who that could be.
On that,
But yeah,
we'll wrap it up.
on that note, we'll see you on the other side.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Hey, you. Yeah, you that's listening right now. Thanks very much for tuning into this episode of Straight to the Apex, the Formula One podcast from CookieCast. If you're enjoying this episode, why not like, share, and subscribe? Whilst you're there, feel free to check out some of the other podcasts that CookieCast has to offer. If you like football, we got a football podcast. NFL more your thing? Then the Laces Out podcast is for you. Maybe even a little bit of the wrestling. Just look for the Getting Over podcast on CookieCast. Maybe you want to listen to Andy's Darkest Timeline. It's there too. So, the F1 boys have probably got themselves a drink. It's time to get back to the action.
Hello, welcome back. You won't know this, but we've just had basically the longest break ever between a podcast because internationally Zoom has gone down and that is what we use. So now on Teams, this may make it out there. I don't know. This is all new territory for us. This is the first time it's ever been recorded on Zoom. Teams, sorry. So Zoom. Hopefully, Zoom, you're all right. We'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully. Yeah. Where was we? We had a lot of questions in the end of that segment.
You give me 3 questions. I think the last question was who's going to win the driver's title, and then what was I can't remember the other 2. There were some biggies.
Let's start off at the top then. Let's start from the first one. From the races that we've seen up to now, 4 races, who is more likely, or who do you think is going to win the world title?
If I was to say now,
yeah,
I'm going to go Oscar Piastri.
Why?
I think he's more consistent. He's going to make a lot of mistakes over the season, granted, but I just think mentally Norris looks out of touch. Don't get me wrong. I think it's between him and Oscar. I think they're going to challenge. Red Bull are, I think, out of it. I can't see them getting into it. I think my other dark horse is George Russell. I think them 3 are going to be the top 3 drivers in the championship. Just don't know what order yet. But if I was to put money on it today, Oscar Piastri would be my bet. What about you?
I'd have to unfortunately agree. But I don't want, because of the reasons that you've said, I think he's the most consistent out of the best cars. He has the best car. He is the most just consistent is the word. And he does hug that middle ground of, he doesn't get too excited. He doesn't get too enthusiastic. But then again, he doesn't get too... We haven't seen a chink in his armor yet. We haven't seen what is a negative for Oscar Piastri? That's what I'm asking myself. I can't find one. Only his inexperience, but he's already got a year under his belt. I mean, I can't see a negative for him. And I can give you a lot more negatives for Lando Norris. The others don't have a quick enough car. It's as simple as that. Because on a straight race, already we've seen it in the 4 races, the McLarens can just pull through. Given time, they can pull through. If you give them enough time, they'll pull all the way through. Okay, granted, Max Verstappen destroyed Japan. But yeah, I think it has to be Oscar Piastri. Don't want to say it.
I think his only, like you say, his only weakness is still learning, and he's probably he's going to make quite a few mistakes this season.
I mean, you could argue Leclerc, but every team barring McLaren has a negative.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you've answered the question there, which it quite conveniently complements the other questions. Mercedes, yes, Russell is the leader. They are resurging, you could say. Does he have what it takes to mix it with the best at the top? Do you think he could be there at the end of the season?
Yeah, I do. And I'm calling George out. And I think that Merc looks night and day from last year. And I think in George's hands, he's got a knack of being at the right place at the right time. So I don't want him to. But yeah, I think he's a contender this year. I think, like I say, I think it's going to be them 3.
I do too. I think he's going to be there or thereabouts, but I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to win it, but I think his car and him are there, very close. Kimi, I think, is the best rookie. Out of the 4 races that we've seen, I think he is the best rookie. He's proved it in the rain. He's come through the field. He's qualified. So. He can pass. He's got a great passing ability. And he's proved that every race. He's got a good car, a very good team. He is the second driver, which is probably McLaren's biggest negative. I think, yeah, they're a great team. I think they're going to be close, but not close enough, not good enough to take over.
I think you've just hit on the one snag for McLaren there. They've got 2 drivers in contention. How they handle that, we know they royally fucked it up last year. I think if anyone's going to undo and hand that title to George Russell, it's going to be the 2 McLarens fighting each other.
Zach has clearly said, though, let them race.
Well, yeah.
Well, let's see it. I want to see it. The whole F1 world wants to see that. And until we see it, until actions speak louder than words, I don't think anybody's going to ever believe it.
No.
And I don't think we've seen it yet. They've both held back, in all the 4 tracks that we've seen, they've held back a certain driver, or there's been circumstances where they don't race. The closest they've been was the race before in Japan, and they wouldn't let Piastri go past him. They have to race. I feel like they have to have a fight. They have to. We have to see it as F1 fans to determine who's the better, who's going to lead this McLaren, who's going to come up trumps, and is that going to be on a regular basis? Maybe, I don't know. Do you think they have to have a coming together before somebody goes, right, enough's enough, this is how we're going to do it?
Yeah, but then equally, I think in what with 5 races down, there's like 22 races. If in another 5 races Oscar dominates, I think that makes the decision for McLaren. I think if the next 5 races Oscar wins 2, Lando wins 2, and George Russell wins 1, then McLaren are going to have to say, right, next 5 races, or just, like you say, race. I think it all boils down to who takes the lead. If Norris wins the next 5 races, McLaren will probably say, right, Oscar, back Norris. Because, like you said, I don't think they'll want him racing. I don't think they'll want him racing. But Zach Brown is saying the big I am is giving the, he's saying I want them to race. Let's see if he puts his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I honestly think that is going to be their season of a split garage. I think that's the only way. That's what is the fairest way? What is the fairest way for both drivers, Mark?
Let them sort it out on track. That's the fairest way, isn't it? Let's see when you get to the summer break, or with 8 races to go or 5 races to go, whoever's in the lead of the championship at that time, they get priority. Because we want the driver's title, we want the constructor's title, and you're not mucking it up for us. So whoever's in that pole position at this cut-off, that's fair.
See, I don't know. I think I agree with your first point, and that is just let them race. Race, let them race. And if they hit each other, there's going to be clawbacks, big clauses, big fines internally. But I think the fairest way is that they have to race each other on track. What I can see, which is what will probably happen, is your second point. They'll have to pull rank on one person. Who will be that person? We don't know.
No.
But if it's that close, they can never do that, surely.
Well, yeah. No, they can't. If, like say, if we're 3 races to go, them 2 are the only ones in contention. They're going to have to let them race all season. So, for a championship point of view, I hope you're right. I hope it's nip and tuck between them all season. So Zach just has to say, do you know what? They have to fight it out for themselves. If they hit each other, it's their own fault. They take each other out. George might then win the championship. But I think the fairest way, like you say, is either have a deadline or just let them race.
Let them race. Let's see them race each other. And I think that will make this season. It will make this season. I think it will.
Yeah.
It really, really will. I'm just trying to think if McLaren mess it up for each other, would it be a failing of a season if they let somebody else sneak up upon them? Probably, but for that to happen, surely they'd have to crash every race, surely. They'd have to have a crash every race, or they'd have to touch each other every race for that to happen, surely.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah,
Again,
definitely.
These first few races, it's moved so quick already. The lead has moved so quick already. Piastri was miles away. Now he's 3 points behind.
Yeah.
At one point in the race, at the start of the race, he was predicted to lead the championship by the end of it. Luckily, Lando got third. So I don't.
Still too early, isn't it? It's
too
still
early.
too early. Like say, anyone could be into contention. Red Bull could get the shit together.
Well, that's what I'm moving on to.
Yeah.
Red Bull. Are they in trouble? Are they in trouble?
Honestly, yeah. I think they are. That car apparently is Max has got it on a knife edge and it's very, very hard to control. It's a bit like Merck last year and the year before. The highs are going to be high, the lows are going to be lows. There's going to be no middle ground. And I think Max will outdrive that car. Don't think he'll get it to a championship if it carries on like it is.
I mean, you say that, and then Max wins next week.
I know. But who in that team on the technical side now can turn that car around? That is the $1 million question, because now Adrian Newey isn't there, the guru of design. Someone's got to step up and turn that car around. And I honestly don't think they've got it. Over the last 3 years, they've lost people to Merck, to Aston Martin, to other people in the paddock.
Rule changes.
Yeah.
Parc Fermé changes as well. Pedal changes, supposedly. And all that shenanigans. I don't know. You can't write. To end this point, you can't write off Max Verstappen because he's that good a driver.
You can't. And honestly, I've just said that he won't be in the top 3. But honestly, if I was to say any other driver can crash that top 3, it's Max. Definitely. Yeah.
Let's move on to the last team then that we're going to kind of discuss here, and that is Ferrari.
Okay.
What's going on at Ferrari? I mean, Lewis is there now. He's going to do amazing. These first few races, not so good. Ferrari circus is back in full motion behind the pit wall. Are they going to kick on? Are they going to get podiums and wins this season?
Well, they brought a big upgrade to Bahrain, floor upgrade. Lewis has now said he knows how to drive that car. He's learnt how to drive that car. He's had years and years of the Met behaving in a certain way, and the McLaren. He now knows what he's got to do. He's been going to his old setups on his Mercedes. Don't work on the Ferrari. It's a totally different beast. He now says, I've looked at Leclerc. I see what he does all weekend. He picks the strategy, he sticks with it. This is the way it goes, and he builds. I now know what I need to do. That's quite big words from a 7-time world champion who's 40 something. I think Ferrari always starts slow. Always. Can they win the Drivers' Championship? Possibly not. Can they win the Constructors? Yeah, because they've got 2 strong drivers. But I think they will get the shit together. I think they will win a couple of races. I think Leclerc will win a couple of races. Lewis will probably win some proper races. I don't know if they'll sustain it because Ferrari will do Ferrari things. There'll be a shit pit stop strategy. There'll be a shit pit stop. It'll break down. It'll do all the things that we know Ferrari does.
Yeah, and I agree. I get a bit sick of what Lewis says because it's just sometimes it's just so wishy-washy and just so dreamy and just so Lewis Hamilton-esque almost. But I'm starting to ask myself, and this is not can you teach an old dog new tricks?
That's $1 million question.
This is another car. It's another season. There was a lot of bravado. That was the main. It was the main headline. But can he perform? He can. He did it in the sprint. He did it in the sprint in China. But where's he gone since? I don't know. But the minute I write off Ferrari is the minute, if you watch the podcast regularly, the minute I write off the Ferraris, it's the minute they turn up again. So,
yeah.
Again, no idea. Predictions. Should we move on? Anything else from this weekend that you can add? I think we've absolutely talked it to the absolute death.
Yeah, I think we've covered it, mate, to be honest. Do you want to be James or shall I be James? You
be James, because I have not got an absolute clue.
So, where's Maddie? Sorry. So, that was a little note for James there. And also, I've just realised I'm on my work laptop. So, this could be... I apologise for that. That was a joke. So race...
Because we're recording on Teams now, it's really I'm a little bit twitched as well because I don't know if I'm on the podcast anymore.
I know.
Or I'm in a serious Teams meeting with work.
I know. I'm all over the place. I'm looking at this thinking I'm on my work laptop.
So I keep looking at Teams and I'm like, is this is not Zoom, this is not Straight to the Apex. This is a important meeting.
I'm scared. If IT are watching or listening, hi, it's Mark. I work at Victory. I do a podcast. Please don't sack me. So,
well, they know where to find you now.
Well, exactly. I didn't say what type of victory. So, race 4, Bahrain. Let's start with you, Tony. You predicted Norris for the win, Piastri second, Max third. You got 0 points. Yeah. James predicted Norris to win, Max second, Piastri third. You got 0 points. Charlie, she predicted Norris to win, Piastri second, Leclerc or Max third. Got 0 points. Me and Beth, however, so Beth went for Piastri, Leclerc, Norris. She gets first and third. I went Piastri, Max, Norris. I get first and third. So the scores on the doors are Charlie's on 1. James is on 3. You, Tony, are on 4 points.
Incredible.
And me and Beth are tied on 9.
Wow. Jesus.
Beth has got 9 points and she's level with me in the podcast. Wow. So, host goes first.
Host goes first. So I'm going to surprise a lot of people here. And I'm going to go with Lando Norris to win, Oscar Piastri second, and Max Verstappen third. And I'm committed. I'm absolutely committed to this pick until I get 7 points.
You're all in. You're all in. I respect it.
I'm slightly annoyed that for the first race, I did a massive change of Lando to win, Oscar second, and Russell third. I wish I'd have gone Max, because then I could have been on to something incredible.
You could.
Incredible.
Do you want to do James's? Has you got James's?
I mean, you go next. You're
Okay.
here.
So I have Piastri for the win. I have Lando Norris second. And I have Charles Leclerc third.
Ooh. Well, James has gone. Piastri for the win. Norris second. And Russell third.
I had Russell written down. Wow. I had Russell written down. Wow. So, do you want to go Beth next?
Well, Charlie. Let's go Charlie.
Okay.
I've got the same message.
Yeah.
Norris for the win.
Yeah.
Russell second. Piastri third.
Okay.
And Beth has just messaged her picks now.
Nice. Hot off the press.
She's gone Lando Norris to win. And she's gone for a Ferrari 2-3 of Hamilton and Leclerc.
I mean, interesting. She's cutting it fine with the picks considering she's joint first. You know, she needs to be quicker. She needs to be quicker.
I mean, we've let her go. We've given her leeway in the past, haven't we? But now she's a serious contender. Yeah. I think she needs to be held accountable with the rules that are in place, because we don't want any questions, do we? At the end of the we don't want any questions.
No.
It's interesting. Basically, you have to pick the winner, because you're always going to put a McLaren winner. If you get the wrong McLaren winner,
it could be big.
Pardon my French here, but you're a bit fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
In your picks, as I know, because I've got 4 points. But it'll be interesting. Jeddah. Yeah. Jeddah is the next race. It's going to be interesting. It's a street circuit. And then we've got a week off. So it's the last one. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
I think Jeddah hasn't been on the calendar that long. Like I say, it's a street circuit. These cars, I feel like it could all be sorted on Saturday, unless there's a big crash.
That's usually what happens, isn't it? Qualifying is key, because it's very tight walls. It's going to be difficult to pass. Very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult to pass. Have we had I was going to ask what happened last year, but I can't remember. It'll be interesting.
No, I can't. I can't. I did have it on my screen, but as with all the issues, I'm a bit out of sorts, so it's gone. But I just hope this half makes it. Let's hope that Andy can put this on. I know it's going to be a lot of work for Andy, so I'll apologise now. It's not us. It's not me. Finally found out it's Zoom globally. Thank God. Let's hope that we get out there and we make it.
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully. We'll see. This could be the forgotten podcast.
Could be. It'll be on my work laptop, and then I'll be getting a phone call from IT in the morning. Mark, can you come into main office, please? Oh shit! What have I done?
Interesting. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Either way, you'll have to tune in again, see what happens, and hopefully, the big dog James is back as well.
Hopefully,
he should be.
I don't know when he's actually back from Italy. I'm hoping for the weekend. No, so we'll have to see.
Never told us, and I don't. Yeah, he did. We'll see. We'll see. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, as always, we'll be back next week with the Jeddah post-race F1 motorsport chat. We'll see if Hull Kingston Rovers win the next derby in the Rugby League as well. We won the first one in the Challenge Cup, so FC got knocked out. Liverpool FC in the football might have won the Premier League next time.
Yeah.
We'll see if Arsenal are still in the Champions League. Anything else from around the world? Trump's tariffs have been brought in, then paused, and then various other stuff going on with that. So tune in next time. Thank you, CookieCast. Thank you, Andy. We will see you next time.
See you later. Thank you.
Peace out.
So there we go. What do you think to that? Another one done. Another one gone. Another podcast gone. Another race gone. Another race to look forward to, though. That's the main thing. Big thank you for watching. Big thank you for listening. Big thank you for being here. Before you leave us, please do consider like, share, subscribe, and comment. It's free. It's literally free. All it costs is your time, which we appreciate, but it is free. And let's face it, nowadays, what can you do for free these days? Nothing. Also, check out the website, thecookieCast.com. There we've got social media links and an email button, and that way you can get in touch with us. You can get in touch with these guys. Anybody at CookieCast, get in touch with them, even if it's just to say hi. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye, and I'll see you then.
You've just listened to another episode of CookieCast. Thanks for listening.